Right, we're asked to sketch the graph, indicate the axis of symmetry, and the coordinates of the turning point on the graph. And we have an equation, 2x squared plus 4x equals y. And you may be asking, where's the c? Is there no c? Well, there is a c. The c is 0. You're adding 0, right? But we just don't write that. And so that tells us that it's going to cross the y-axis at 0. And when y equals 0, we also know that x equals 0. So now we know it's going to go through the point 0, 0. And that's just by looking at it and thinking. All right, we want to find the x-intercepts, and to do that, we make y equal to 0 and try and solve this equation. When there's no c value, it's really easy to solve because you can just factorize the two terms that we have, take out the highest common factors, and x is always going to be one of them. Of course, x is in both of those terms. And so we can take out 2x, and we'll get 2x times in brackets x plus 2 equals 0. Null factor law is what we're using to solve this for x. And it's like when you're multiplying two things together and the answer is 0, then one of those things has to be 0, which means that x is either 0 or x equals -2. There's two answers. Well, they're the two roots for the equation. Now, the axis of symmetry, the key is in the word symmetry. A parabola is symmetrical, which means the turning point is going to be halfway between the roots. Well, we know the roots are 0 and -2, so we know the turning point is going to be at x equals -1, which is the axis of symmetry, x equals -1. To find the y value, we take the -1, we put it back into the equation, and we get 2 times -1 squared plus 4 times -1. And try and solve that, we get y equals -2. So we know the turning point is at -1, -2, and all we have to do now is sketch the graph. So draw some axes, mark the roots, mark the turning point, join it up by the best line that you can, and then put the axis of symmetry in. Don't forget they asked us to do that. And make sure we've labeled the turning point as well. Good job.